Welcome to a very special episode of Cooking on the Fry. It's special because I didn't plan this. But when opportunity knocks, you may be in the shower, but you better answer the door because it doesn't hang around very long. And I got an opportunity to buy over 1.5 pounds of fresh Atlantic salmon fillet for about $8. This never happens. So I went for it and decided that I am going to do salmon for the first time. Now, salmon is scary to me because it's always getting messed up on those cooking reality shows. I mean, these hapless contestants, it's either raw or it's dry. I mean, it always goes wrong with salmon. I mean, you'd think if I was on a cooking reality show, I would fry 50 or 60 of these and make sure I got it right before I showed up and the filming started. But that's just me. Apparently it's harder than it looks, so I'm a little intimidated. But I figure let's get the show on the road and learn something. I've watched a number of salmon cooking videos, and I'm actually going to try to replicate the one that was done by Chef Gordon Ramsay. I like his approach, and I'm going to see if I can do it on the fry. Now, before I actually do the salmon, I'm going to try a little mad scientist experiment in creating something to go on the salmon when I'm done. Kind of a poor man's take on pesto. Now, I could buy pesto, but that's another like $4. That adds like 50% to the cost of this project, and I don't really want to do that. I want to use what I've already got. And I've got some basil, not particularly fresh, and I've got some minced garlic, and I've got some olive oil, and I've got some mozzarella. So what I'm going to do is dump all of these into a non-stick pan on low and get them to all smoosh together while I'm doing the salmon. Let's see what happens. So I just turned the burner, my little non-stick pan buddy here is on to just a notch above low. And so now I'm going to get some ingredients in there really quick. Okay, first the last of my extra virgin olive oil. So we're going to send this this bottle of extra virgin olive oil into the recycle bin, trying to do something really cool with it. Okay, now I'm adding some mozzarella, and since you really can't have anything like basil pesto without basil, I'm just gonna, there we go, pesto that. And now I'm gonna dump some minced garlic in there. This stuff is not that powerful, I know. Sorry, and I'm shaking the camera too. That really doesn't help, does it? Sorry about that. But our garlic is in, and let's stir it around. Here we go. And mix our amazing ingredients here together. And now I'm just going to reach over, grab the lid, and forget about it and cook my salmon. Well, isn't this wonderful? I wondered if saving a couple bucks buying the smallest size cutting board was ever going to have a downside, and I think this might be it, but let's proceed to cut off a slice of this salmon fillet. Okay, I'm going to just hack off a piece of this here. So, and a nice big piece. If this works, I really want to enjoy it, and I am hungry. So, can you see this? There we go. Wow. Well, that failed. Good thing I have a backup knife, or two. Hold that thought. Let's see if this one works. I know it's technically a roast slicing knife, but whatever gets the job done at this point. that salmon skin could be so tough. I sure didn't. But there you go. Roast slicing knife did the job. Now I'm going to take a quick break and preserve the rest of this salmon that I need to cook up right away after this little experiment is over. Before I prep the salmon, I'm going to get my my iron skillet here up to low medium. I'm taking this low and slow because I know what to look for and I'm in no hurry. So that'll warm up, and while it's warming up, I'm going to dump in some extra light olive oil. This isn't extra virgin, it's extra light. And the reason why I switched to extra light is because it was buy one, get one free, and that was all the reason I needed. Okay, the salmon prep is very simple. What I'm going to do is score it. I think it's called scoring. I'm basically cutting vertical. Wow, this is way tougher than I ever suspected. You know, these people who do this make it look so easy. Or I need to sharpen my knives, but this was supposed to be easy, and I'm sure there's a technique to it, and this is embarrassing, but oh wow, this is incredible. I guess you'll learn by doing. And I gotta get the scales off this knife, or it doesn't even work. This is, there we go. You can find a sweet spot here. And get some horizontal scores. I mean, this is a really, really sharp knife too. I had no idea. Oh, this would be so difficult. You know, live and learn. The whole point is I'm getting the skin. The point of cutting into the skin like this is so that it won't curl in the pan. This is supposed to be really easy to do, and it's not, and it's taking a lot of time. I'm feeling this is going to be one of the longer cooking on the fry videos, but if I can actually learn how to do salmon, it'll be worth it. Anyway, you can see how much fun this is. I'm going to cut off for a couple of minutes and finish cutting these, whatever I call them, in the salmon. Be right back. Well, there we go. And all that's really left that I'm going to do is rub some salt into the wounds here. It looked so easy on the videos, and it's not. So I got salt down in those cuts, and I'm brushing most of the other salt off. Well, this will be interesting. This oil has been sitting in this pan for a number of minutes. How can I tell how hot it is before I put anything in there? Well, I'm going to take its temperature. And you know what? I turned on the rear burner when I was supposed to turn on the front. So I'm going to turn this off and turn on the front and turn off the rear and wait for it to warm up. Shouldn't take too long. Meanwhile, just for fun, let's see what the temperature is in my mad scientist attempt at fabricating pesto. This is good. It's wow. Yeah, we're at about 155. That ought to melt a little cheese. Excellent. Well, at least that part of this is going well. Okay, I took advantage of my mistake to go upload the video files from this camera to my computer, so now I'm back. And let's see how the oil is doing. Oh, it's gotten a lot hotter. It's up to, yeah, it's way north of 170 hitting 180. So what I'm going to do is drop this fish in there. Skin down, of course. Okay, here we go. That's exactly what I wanted, that happy fish frying sound, and not much else. You got a couple scales off of there. And what I'm going to do is let this fry until the color turns 2/3 up the fillet. And I'm going to scramble over right now and wash off my cutting board so I can use it when I'm done. Well, it's been a few minutes. I just cleaned up from the prep work, and salmon here is just happily frying away. Color is changing over on the skinnier side of the fillet. I'm going to wait for the color to change 2/3 of the way up. It's not changing a whole lot. Maybe I should have started on slightly higher heat, but we'll get through this. I am in this relationship for the long haul. I can say one thing, that scoring trick, it's called scoring, right? I forgot, I think it's called scoring. That salmon fillet is lying flat, that thing is not curling up, so maybe even if my scoring looked a little bit like a crime scene, well, it's working. And as we can see, it is turning color. What I plan to do is let it turn color 2/3 of the way up, flip it, and tip the pan a little bit to get the oil all over it, and then maybe after a few seconds take its temperature. I want it to be about 140. And let's take a quick mad scientist break and see what's going on in the improv pesto. Well, we're up to about 180 in there. Well, hopefully everything is blending together and the flavors are combining, and I'll have something awesome to put on my salmon when this is done. Well, it's been a few more minutes. Filet is cooking a lot slower than I thought it would, even though I just took the temperature in the oil, and it's pushing 300 degrees now. And I've been out showing the cooking videos, at least none that I've seen. Is there some goo coming out of the side of the filet and hitting the oil, and it's splattering? I just took a drop of olive oil in my face, and I'm really glad I'm wearing glasses while I'm shooting these videos. Now I'm curious, what do I imagine the temperature is down in the middle of that salmon? Now look at that, it's already over my target temperature, and I'm not going down very far. Interesting. Okay, I can't go in much closer because I might get a drop of hot oil on this camera, and I don't think camera would appreciate that a whole lot. I think the color has changed about 2/3 of the way up. I've taken a couple temperature readings, and it's well above my target temperature down in there, not too far. So I'm going to flip this over. I wish I had a fish flipper. I don't. I have the next best thing, I hope. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to flip it over and just wait a few seconds and then take the internal temperature. At least we'll get to see what my wonderful, hopefully crispy skin looks like. Here we go. Oh wow, look at that. So now I'm going to run and get my glove, and let's get the olive oil down there. Okay, safety first. I'm going to tip the pan and get all that olive oil down there. That skin looks kind of nice though. I wonder if it's crispy. Here we go with the temperature down the middle of the thick part, and yeah, we're way above 140. I think it's done. I'm going to flip it over again. Okay, one more flip. Oh, yay, splatter. and turn this off. Well, there it is, my first fried salmon fillet. I'm going to let that rest for a couple minutes while I check on my pesto mad scientist experiment. Let's stir this up. Kind of smells good. Look at that. What fun. It's a little more oily than I wish it was, but still, I can't wait to try this on the salmon. Okay, big moment of truth time. I don't think it's going to be raw. I hope it's not dry. It's kind of hard to see. Well, it's not very dry. I count it as moist, actually. Let's see what it tastes like. Here we go. You know, that just about melted in my mouth. That was really good. Now I'm going to try my Presto Pesto. Put some of that on here. Whoops. There we go. It's a little cheesy. It's not spreading that easy. Let's try them together, see what happens. That actually works. This came out as well as I could ever expect, and that's the great thing about cooking on your own, is sometimes things blow up in your face when you think it's going to be super easy, and sometimes things work out really well. And this time it worked out pretty well, so I'm going to go have dinner. Anything I can do, you can do better, but you might have to do a little better this time than usual, because I really like the way this worked out. Bye for now. Oh yeah, and in case you're wondering, excuse me, yes, that is crispy salmon skin, and it's really good, and now I understand what all the fine dining people get all excited about. It's good. Okay, a little postscript here. I'm cooking the other 2/3 of this salmon because it's at its pull date. Here's a way better way to do it, okay? Roast carving knife, hold the salmon like this, and then boom, cut, 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 and one more. Way easier. There we go.